Hello and welcome to the Caged In podcast in which I watch every single Nicolas Cage film from start to finish and I talk about them. In the first two episodes I mentioned this would be a weekly podcast. I've decided against that and I'm going to kind of record them as and when and put them up straight away because I feel like that will add a bit more pressure onto me, like kind of set a deadline or just get through them as quick as I can and really immerse myself in the ridiculous nature of Nicolas Cage. So yeah, if you want to keep on top of that, you can subscribe on iTunes and Acast. They're both the Nicolas Cage podcast. No, they're not. They're both the Caged In podcast. Ah, fuck. Yeah, they're both the Caged In podcast. Or you can keep up to date on social media at Caged In Pod on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Alternatively, you can email me at cagedinpod at gmail.com, where you can discuss anything, give any pointers or anything, or any ideas you have, any segments, any things you'd like me to talk about. All that stuff would be great. Like, yeah, keep them coming, guys. Well, keep them coming. Just come with them. And yeah, I'm taking donations of any Nicolas Cage DVDs that anyone has. So if you have anything that's collecting a bit of dust on your bookshelf, or like, yeah, you got an old DVD, you got an old copy of Face Off or Con Air or something like that, and you want to hand it up for me to watch and talk about on this podcast, that'd be great. In the next few days, I'll be uploading a list of films I've got, or like some photos, so you can see the stuff I've got. And yeah, if you've got anything that's missing from there, the list will obviously include stuff that I haven't got as well. So yeah, you'll be able to figure it out. And like I know a lot of stuff is up on Netflix. Like amazingly, like I checked Netflix yesterday, 2 new films have been put on there. So we've got Seeking Justice and Tokarev, which is great. Like, because I'm paying for Netflix, I don't want to have to spend loads of money on Nicolas Cage DVDs, even though I already have. But that's besides the point. As for this week, we're doing the 1984 film Racing with the Moon, directed by Richard Benjamin, and it's starring Sean Penn, Elizabeth McGowan, and obviously Nicolas Cage. I'm feeling highly positive about this one. It's going to have more Nicolas Cage in it, unlike last week's episode of Rumblefish, because it's got third billing. So yeah, highly optimistic about that. I feel like it would probably be a definite upswing from Valley Girl. I'm not sure if it would be as good as Rumblefish. Really rated that film. Obviously not a lot of Nicolas Cage. So see if that correlates in any way. Who knows? About them, so no IMDb scores, no Metacritic, none of that. I'm going to have no distractions, so I won't have my phone on, I won't be looking at the internet, I'll have my blinds closed in my flat. I literally have some snacks, maybe some water, a cup of tea. I just sit and watch film, take loads of notes. Like, yeah, check on the social media, check on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. Because I've been uploading photos of the notes I take to show you guys that this isn't all fun and games. Like, I'm taking this shit seriously. Like, I'm not kicking back. I'm not having fun with this really. Like, I kind of am. Like, I enjoy films, but like, yeah, this isn't all just like, oh, I'm gonna watch a load of Nicolas Cage films. Like, as I said before, like, I've never been the biggest Nicolas Cage fan. Like, not that I dislike the actor, but I know there's a lot of shit in his back catalogue from what I've heard. I know, it's vast anyway, 71 films and counting. So, yeah, with the rules, and the first 10 episodes, obviously, are going to be just me. So, yeah, we'll get used to the format and stuff like that. After 10, we're going to introduce some guests, so it'll bring a new flavour to it. It'll bring, like, something new to the proceedings and stuff like that. You'll get some outsider perspectives. It'll be a lot more, I don't know, it won't just be me sat in a room talking to myself. Like, so it'll be fun for me. I kind of feel like the first 10 are a punishment for taking on this task. So after 10, I kind of get to enjoy myself a bit more. So yeah, after the first 10, like, I don't know, I might record these in having pizza and stuff like that. So a bit more enjoyable as opposed to sat on my own watching them in the dark with a glass of water and a notepad, writing down tons of notes. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know this isn't just fun and games. Probably should be fun to listen to, but yeah, I've rambled on a bit too much, so I'm going to kick back, feet up, phone off, and get raging with Cage. See you on the flip side.
For the worst shelling yet.
Nurse you.
What the devil's going on here? Stop that carrying on! Will you just hold it? Stop that!
Right, so I've watched the film now. I've given myself a good 5-10 minutes, wind down, I've had a cigarette. Yeah, I've gathered my notes together. Let's start off with a rundown of the film. So, it's set in 1942. It's about two guys who are heading off to war in the next couple of months, and the film takes place over those 2 months before they go. So we have Henry, played by Sean Penn, who is our lead, and then his best friend Nicky, played by Nicolas Cage. So yeah, in regards to like the plot of the film, it's not really that much going on, really. It's kind of very loose. Don't really get a sense of time in the way that scenes will just happen, then the next scene, you don't know if it's the next day or if it's a week later. It's not really put together in a cohesive way like that. So yeah, when you first meet them, they're working in a bowling alley. Like, I've never seen a bowling alley like it. Like, they're manually changing the pins. It's fucking crazy. Cage constantly smoking. Sean Penn constantly smoking. Cage constantly boozing throughout this film. Like, that's one thing I just kept writing down in my notes. Like, why the fuck does he keep drinking? He's just drinking. So yeah, the real one of the key plot points of the film is that Sean Penn's character starts a relationship with Elizabeth McGovern's character, and there's this kind of, he thinks she's rich, she's not rich. It's actually her mum is a maid for a rich family and she lives with them, and there's this kind of like, he's got the expectations of her being this rich girl, but she's not actually, so there's a bit of confusion, stuff like that. But yeah, tonally this film, fucking all over the place. Like, you got real dark subject matter and you got real dark scenes, and then the next scene is just farce. And yeah, like, I don't know, let's talk about some key scenes here. So we've got a double date scene that is as I said, like, with the whole tone of this film, so like up until this point, like, it's kind of like a little bit jokey, like fairly serious, like a drama. I'd say it's like a World War II drama without the actual war. It's like the lead up. It's all those bits back in America and Saving Private Ryan, basically. So you have you have Sean Penn's character Henry going on a date at a roller rink, and as I said, like, the tone of it, it's slapstick, man. He gets swung around, and then out the door with like comedy sound effects. Other key scenes to probably talk about, I don't know. Yeah, we've got another one, real tone change again. Like, it just gets super dark all of a sudden. You get this scene with amputees in the hospital, like, which is a real juxtaposition from the scene before it, which is Henry and Nikki are at some really weird, like, almost war game simulation thing at a school, or it's bizarre. It's people pretending to be dead, it's people pretending to be nurses, people pretending to be wounded. They're having a laugh, they're having a joke. They change over the record, which is just war sounds, to some type of swing, and then they dance off. Yeah, and Sean Penn's girlfriend then decides to, like, show him that war's not all fun and games, and shows him a load of amputees. Then fucking Michael Madsen turns up as one of them. I was sat there like, I was engaged with this film. It's not like it was no Rumblefish, but like I was like, fuck, it's Michael Madsen. Like, did not expect that. Like, yeah, if people don't know, Michael Madsen, Reservoir Dogs, Free Willy, I think. And a crazy subplot of this film is that Nicolas Cage's character has got his girlfriend pregnant, and he has to come up with the money for an abortion. So, as you know, really deep subject matter. The way it's treated, pretty fucking poorly. There is a scene in which the two main characters go to a pool hall to try and hustle some sailors out of their money so they can get the abortion for Nikki's girlfriend. I kept having to remind myself, like, in my notes it says, like, it's a really fun scene. It's really fun, like, yeah, it's kind of like the soundtrack's going and they're playing pool, but then in the back of my mind all I had was, they are trying to gamble money to afford an abortion. This is fucking awful. This is awful. Yeah, the way the whole abortion subplot is handled is very heavy-handed. It brings in the main plot of Sean Penn's character and Elizabeth McGovern's character, in that he asks her for the money, assuming that she is rich. She's not, and she tries to steal, gets caught, gets the money. This causes a huge tension between the two of them, and it's kind of like in the last 20 minutes it's kind of revealed that she isn't rich. Yeah, the whole abortion subplot, very, very, very heavy-handed. And the way this thing ends, like, it ends with them being shipped out to war, but I don't know, of all the stuff you've seen of how, like, they try and portray that war isn't fun, war isn't going to be a good time, like, but it has this almost, I don't know, musical, like, ending of the two of them chasing after the train and, like, jumping on the back and hanging off the back like people used to do on old school buses. You used to see, like, yeah, like musicals and stuff like that. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, I just, I don't know. Yeah, I just thought it was fucking insane. It, like, when it comes to Cage's character, he plays this kind of patriotic nut who keeps going on about how he's going to kill Japs and stuff like that, and I don't know, yeah, like, it doesn't really treat war in a serious manner, I felt like. So in regards of plot, that's really about it. So yeah, kind of a love story between Sean Penn's character and Elizabeth McGovern's character, with the subplot of the abortion and kind of the looming idea that war is, well, these two guys going off to war is inevitable. But like, I don't know, there's some real funny scenes. There's like, I think Cage brings some real manic energy to the film that, I don't know, like, I feel it's kind of talked about in later performances and stuff like that. I know we've got stuff coming up where he's absolutely batshit crazy, but you can see it even back here. This is obviously his third real big role. Like, I've had people dispute the fact that I'm only doing 71 films or thereabouts, but I'm only going for where he's got a significant role. Like, obviously, I did a bit of a misstep on Rumblefish last week, but this film definitely back on top. Cage is a predominant character. He pushes the story along in what he's in. Yeah, I'm going to get onto a section I'm like to call Cage Quotes. Each week I'm going to pick 3 quotes from the film, play you a clip. Just times fucking made me laugh. Came out with some absolutely ridiculous shit. So the first one I'm going to do is a clip of the film where he's explaining his, what I call the Nazi dick destroyer. Here we go.
All right, wise guy, listen to this. I heard the Nazis got this thing, right? It comes right out of the ground and goes right for it. Blows the whole package right off. 1 second you're John Wayne, and the next you're Minnie Mouse.
So that fucking comes out of nowhere. That is literally, there's no context to it. That's just a random bar fact that he pulls out of nowhere. Which leads me to the next clip, which is him singing. And again, scene starts on this note, then gets dark pretty quickly. Like within 20 seconds after this clip, he's talking about abortion. So disjointed as fuck.
Tangerine, she is all they claim, with her eyes of night and lips as bright as flame. Tangerine, when she dances by, senoritas stare and caballeros sigh, and I've seen times when Tangerine had the bourgeoisie believing she were queen. Yeah, she's had them all on the run, but her heart belongs to just one. Her heart belongs to Tangerine.
Dickie, why do I let you work here?
Because when the heat's on, there's nobody can lay down a set of pins faster than me. I'm the best you got.
No, you're not.
Oh. Well, then, you got me, boss.
Throughout this clip, we have Nicolas Cage dancing with a mop and doing his best Elvis Presley impression. I know he's a massive Elvis Presley fan, which I think we'll get onto at some point in the future. I've got a feeling. Yeah, he's fucking nuts. Which brings me on to a last clip, which is from the scene I mentioned earlier about the bull sharking. Yeah, and just out of nowhere, just this line was fucking great, made me laugh, rewound it a couple of times.
Oh, eat bar shithead, you're dead! 2 more points! What's wrong?
One thing I forgot to mention about this scene earlier when talking about it is it's fucking long. It wasn't until like I tried to find that clip I realised it's like at least 5 minute long scene of them playing pool. So I had 5 minutes of that underlying thing, like, they are trying to hustle money for an abortion. This is appalling. Yeah, so that's it for Cage quotes. Like, hopefully as things go on and things get a bit more crazy, the quotes will get better. If people think I missed anything on the Cage quotes they see in the film, feel free to holler at me at Instagram, Facebook and Twitter at CagedInPod, or on the email cagedinpod@gmail.com. Yeah, that's pretty much brings us to the end of this episode, really. Only things really to talk about is what's coming up next. Next episode will be the Cotton Club. I actually received this the other day on DVD. It cost me like 99p on eBay. Turns out it was actually a promotional free copy, like a film's classic thing. It came with a Daily Mail. Don't feel that bad because I haven't actually funded the Daily Mail. I've paid for something that would have been free or whatever. But yeah, so it's a 1984 film. Again, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, just like Rumblefish. And as I mentioned before, Francis Ford Coppola is actually Nicolas Cage's uncle. So I'm looking forward to this one. I'm hoping again that there's more Cage. Like, let's get all the Cage. Yeah, and then after that one, I think we've got Birdie again, 1984. Seems to be that he's doing his films in like blocks of 2. So, yeah, the first 2 were 1983. Second 2, oh no, yeah. The next 3 are 1984, and then we have a 2-year gap. So let's see how things progress. Maybe that gap, maybe that's when he lost his mind. Who knows? Maybe we'll see later on down the line when he lost his mind. So yeah, after the 10, remember there's going to be guests. If any listeners out there who know me and live locally want to be on this, hit me up. As I said, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the email. Yeah, I'm having fun doing this for now, guys. I hope you guys are having fun listening. Keep up to date with it all on the social media, because, as I said, the format's changed a little. I'm not going to do this weekly. I'm kind of trying to go cram it in so it sends me insane. Like, this isn't just about me watching the Nicolas Cage film. This is me having a look at fan culture and delving into something. I've this week found myself on weird subreddit groups. I know there's one real big one called One True God. Idolize the guy, and good on you guys. Like, I don't, but hey, enough power to people. I've been chatting to a few people who have marathoned all of his films super quick, and yeah, I want to, any of you guys, like, hit me up, please, at cagedinpod@gmail.com. I'd love to speak to you. I'm trying to get interviews with people as well. I'm going to try and do some special episodes that aren't just focused on the films, just focused on working with the guy and stuff like that, and see what can happen. Like, this is a fun project. Like, I'm hoping after Nicolas Cage I might focus on someone else. I've got a few ideas. Like, I thought Caged In is a good title anyway. I got some funny titles and ideas for who could be next, but obviously that's a long way off yet, considering we're only 3 episodes in. So yeah, come back next time, whenever that is. Get on Facebook, get on Twitter, subscribe on iTunes or Acast. I might be having Stitcher soon as well, but I know those 2 are the main big 2. So subscribe on there. Whenever an episode is released, it'll be on there, and obviously I'll be posting like fuck on social media to let people know. And another reminder of the DVD amnesty. Let's call it that. That's a pretty cool name. The Cage DVD amnesty. I'm not holding it against you throwing in these films. I'll take them off you. I'll come round with a black bin bag. There'll be no names, there'll be no shames. Just hand them over, guys. Email me, cagedinpod@gmail.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that shit. Till next time, guys, I've been Petros Patsilivus. I've been Caged In. You've been rad. Bye!